What feedback did you get from the children? Did they love it?
It was amazing. The children liked it during the whole workshop. In fact, when we were about to finish, they didn't want the kora players to go. And then the parents liked it because we invited the parents. They came into an assembly in which the children put on their costumes, African costumes, and they played music to their parents. And then after that, the school decided to organize in their art week. They decided that they were going to bring in the kora play again because of the experience I had with them. Yeah.
Wow, that's brilliant. So what was the inspiration behind that?
Well, the inspiration is there are lots of other things that are happening around the world that other children here are not being taught about. Children do learn music in school, but they only learn standard or contemporary music that's been seen here. So what I wanted to do is was to introduce them to instruments that they have never seen before, and instruments that have a lot of history behind it. You know, so the children would be able to blend traditional instruments from other parts of the world into modern instruments that they are learning in school.
So a bit of like world culture, really.
Exactly.
Oh, that's brilliant. And tell us about what you've been doing here today.
Because I am a television, broadcast television student, doing my BA Interactive Media, but I'm specializing in TV, and my main area is directing. So that's why you're seeing me walking around here shouting to everyone.
A bit stressed.
Yeah, a bit stressed, yeah. But that's part of the job, really.
Oh, that's brilliant. So what would you say to people that are looking to get into sort of film or directing?
It's really a tough job. I have been in the business for a while. Maybe you would like to know that I started my career in 1992 as a radio presenter, and then went into news reporting and then sports journalism and everything. And then moved on to TV, and in TV I did camera work, editing, and then I decided to settle into directing. Simply because I can understand what every aspect of the production team can do, because I can try my hands on camera, I'm an editor, I can write scripts, I can do presenting. So I decided perhaps when I sit behind all these talents, I will be able to coordinate them together to bring it
bring it all together.
Yeah, that's my intention. Yeah.
Well, thanks for that today. That's been really good.
Thank you very much.
And thanks for joining us.
How was that? Have you got a feed? Are you guys all on top back?
They are. I'm not. Bit unfortunate. I believe you've got your name.
Tom. Do you have a surname as well?
Right, okay, we're joined here by Tom. Tom's going to tell us a little bit more about the course he's been studying on and what he's learned in the past year. So start off by telling us about the course you're on.
Well, I was on interactive media and design, which is well, basically anything to do with graphic design, television, film, music, animation, and it sort of encompasses everything and allows people to sort of coexist with each other with their skill set and produce work for each other.
Okay, and what are the main things that you've learned this year?
Well, personally, I've learned a lot about DIY because I've been doing a lot here, and I've learned a lot about professionalism in the workplace and how to create a fluid workflow from conception to the actual product in itself. And I've learned a lot about editing, to be honest, because that's what I've been trying to get better at.
Right, okay, so you want to become an editor?
Well, not necessarily, but I think nowadays in the field you've obviously got to be able to do more than one role. I think to be able to be a competent editor really does help you in the long term, because you don't have to rely on anybody else. You can sort of envision and then produce the film in the way that you want.
You've got to know a lot of different areas really to be an editor, I think.
That's it, yeah.
Oh, that's brilliant. So what have you brought down to today?
I made a video art installation based around the sort of perpetual nature of reality and the boredom and frustration that creates, and the sort of symmetry, if you like, between an altered state and intoxication, and then the prison that can create. And it's on a repetitive loop, so if anyone wants to walk past and see it, they don't really see the start and the end, they just jump in, and it's through my perspective, so it's a sort of ambiguous piece.
That sounds good. And Where's the next step for you?
In all honesty, the next step for me is to take a break, reassess what I want to do with myself. I think I'm going to go to do some volunteering with some youth engagement programs to do with media in and around Manchester that I did do previously.
Okay.
And other than that, I think just take a big holiday, to be honest.
And look to give something back to the community. Oh, that's really good.
Yeah, well, something like that. I think it's important to not put yourself on that pedestal. I think everybody's equal, so you've got to at least be able to give something back at some point. So.
Oh, that's brilliant. Well, thank you very much. As you can see, we've just heard from Tom there. You really need to get down here and experience what everyone's seeing around us today. There's a lot going on.
The Manchester College is involved in two ways with apprenticeships. The first is that we of course provide training for apprentices alongside all the other opportunities we have for young people and adults. We provide the qualifications that are part of the apprenticeship and all the assessment that's needed as part of the work that apprentices will be doing. What we also do is have our own apprenticeship schemes. We have 20 apprentices in the college already employed with us in different parts of the college, and we're going to take on at least another 20 next year and in years following. We feel that we want to make an investment in young people as part of our business. We want to give the employment opportunities to those young people in really good quality jobs.
I'm a HR advisor, and my role within the apprentice scheme was to coordinate all of the different areas involved to actually put the apprenticeship programme in place. I was involved in the recruitment of the apprentices and the organisation of an induction day for our new apprentices to make sure they understood what the expectations were from us and what we were going to be expecting from them.
The level of salary that we're paying for each apprentice keeps them motivated to a degree. I think then it's important that the people who look after them within the business keep them motivated and keep the work varied, that they're not just given, menial tasks, and they are getting a variety of work.
There are a lot more challenges. You're taking on young people, 16 to 18, just out of school. It's about teaching them about work, coming to work on time, attendance, all those things that we take for granted. It's about understanding what will the expectations be of the apprentices and how do we fulfil those, making sure that you're providing the opportunities for these people.
A photography student who
learning.
done this really amazing piece of work. Could you tell us what inspired you to create those images and what are they?
Well, I'm primarily interested in the influence of the internet and digital technology on photography today. Basically what this project is about, it's the A to Z of Google basically, and what Google has told me the A to Z looks like. So basically what I've done is just appropriated the content of the internet and created these composite images in Photoshop. And what I think they reflect is what's known as pattern recognition. Basically patterns, textures, colours, shapes that we've learned from our formative years are represented in these images, and basically I just want people to work out and decipher what the images are for themselves.
Did you have any problems with copyright? Because like you mentioned, you used Google Images, and I know sometimes it's really difficult to just grab something from the internet without getting into the trouble.
Yeah, that's true. It's something I did research into heavily was the copyright issue, but it's very technical and it's a bit of a grey area, to be honest. And what I've found that in my work is what's called as fair use. It falls under the fair use policy. So all the images that I've used, because I've taken tiny sections of these images, they're unrecognisable. And obviously I'm not really making any money off this work, so there's no way that anyone could trace back any of these images to the original source. So it's easy.
So after seeing tiny little piece, nobody can actually say, "Oh, that picture is mine."
No one will ever be able to recognise, because I've completely deconstructed the image and reconstructed it basically. So there's no way anyone would be able to trace that back.
They do look really interesting. Are you actually planning to show your images anywhere else, or maybe publish them on your website?
It's possible that I will be putting them on my personal website. But again, it's one of those things where I'm not really sure because of the copyright issue, but we'll cross that bridge when I come to it.
Anyway, your work is amazing and I hope you enjoy the rest of the evening. Thank you very much, Alison, and we come back to Glenn. Thank you.
I chose Manchester College because I heard a lot about it. It was recommended by the teachers from school, got the prospectuses, went to a lot of the open evenings. It seemed like a really good place. People seemed friendly and interviewed me.
I came on an induction day and got shown around the college, and I thought the facilities were really good, and when they told me what I was going to be doing in the course, I thought it was good for me.
Anybody who was given a place on the course was sent a welcome pack. They would tell you, where the public transport systems are located. You also got a list accommodation that would be affordable and then ideally situated to where we were studying. The resources
Another
at the
photography
college are
student who
brilliant.
created this
They're very
amazing
practical, like all
work.
the software that are
Shanae,
on
could you tell us a little bit more what inspired you and what is your work about?
My work is about the emotional response towards dealing with dyslexia. It's self-portraits because obviously I'm dyslexic, and I went through 15 years in the education system without being diagnosed, which caused a lot of problems for me because obviously, I thought I was stupid. So I aim to do a project to show that dyslexia is not just about problems with words and numbers, it actually affects you on an emotional level, and that's what my work's about.
Did you have any problems during the progress of creating those images, any technical issues?
Well, I tried a few different approaches because when I was researching for this project, there was no creative imagery on dyslexia, which I found quite interesting considering it's associated with creativity. So I tried different ways to explore how I could produce a piece of work that showed dyslexia. So yeah, I had trouble with some software, but in the end I was like, right, self-portraits, that's what it's going to be.
Somebody told to me when they think about dyslexia, they think about the words stuck into the head. What do you think about that?
They think about what, sorry?
The words stuck into the head, because obviously dyslexia reminds everybody with the difficulties with learning and writing. But I think it's kind of like stereotype, and I think your image is showing this amazingly.
Yeah. Well, the thing is when I went through high school, and I wasn't stupid, I was in top sets for everything, I got all my GCSEs, all my A-levels. It's more just knowing that if you were dyslexic makes you feel a bit of relief because you know that your brain just works differently. Because what it is it's a neurological condition, it's an abnormality in brain patterns. It's nothing to do with like being stupid or not understanding things, you just learn differently.
Are you planning to show your images anywhere else, or maybe upload on your website or YouTube page or anywhere?
Well, I have a Facebook page and a website, so they'll be going on there pretty soon along with pictures from the exhibition and how it all went, so that's where it's going to go at the moment.
Well, good luck and thank you very much for this interview. That was Sinead, and let's cut back to Glenn. Thank you.